Hello. So this is the video that I am shooting for the task, uh, extra credit task submission, for which the main objective of this task is to design a complete full text Elasticsearch and Flask application. The main motive of this application is to understand the search, to understand how the search engine in index, query, and retrieve data efficiently is you are the main core features of the Elasticsearch. It also includes indexing, querying, filtering, and pagination and faceted aggregation. So by building this web interface in which there are going to be different files, including the Python files for the code and also the front-end HTML files, apart from which there is this JSON file, and it is going to be a very user-friendly interface, user-friendly front-end interface, and also it bridges to the back end for the search logic of the search engine. So through this, we will gain an hands-on experience of Elasticsearch operation, which includes, as mentioned earlier, the index creation, then is document ingestion, search queries, and aggregations. So the outcome is going to be the web interface which searches the movies based on some filtrations that we'll apply. And I will also explain the bridge between the front end and back end implication application. So there are different files, as I said. So I'll share my screen. So this is the first file, which is the env file. So the env file mainly contains the environment variables. Uh, the environment variables are used for the configuration of the Flask application, and it also controls the runtime settings. So the variables make the application more flexible and also secure by keeping the information secure or authentic. It provides a sort of authentication like the credentials out of the source code. So as seen, the first is the URL, which specifies the server for the Elasticsearch URL, and the app, it helps the app to meaning it connects the app to the local Elasticsearch instance, and the local host port, as mentioned, is 9200. And also there is some alternative that if we are using the Elasticsearch, the Elastic Cloud, then the values can be replaced with the cloud ID or the cloud endpoint for the connection accordingly. Then is this user ID, that is Elastic, and the password which I created during the Elasticsearch setup. Um, it mainly provides the password and the user ID which is mentioned. It mainly provides the access to the Elasticsearch clusters, so which are formed. And then is this verify certs, which is set to false. So this is used for verification, meaning the client is not to be verified as the SSL certificates. To explain it more better, for example, when the Elasticsearch is running locally with HTTPS, then it is useful to develop in the development of environments so that we get some self-signed certificates. Then is the index name, that is media, mostly because we are working on the media, meaning the movie data. So we are going to apply the search engine for the movies. There are a set of movies that have been put in the JSON data. So we will apply some filtration on it and accordingly get the outputs on the interface. Next comes the page size, which has been set to 10. So this controls the search result. For example, most of the time you must have seen even during the applications, for example, the applications of some jobs or internships. Then if you apply a search function, meaning in the job category, if you apply this criteria, filtering criteria for the internships, then you get the result for all the list of internships or internship openings that are available. And on every page there are a number of internships. Like if you set the page size to 10, then you will get 10 openings on one page. If you set the page size to 5, then you'll get 5 openings on one page and the others on the next, and so on. So that was about the environment file. And the next is mm, and next is the search file. So this is the Python file in which it has various functions for the search engine. Uh, so the first, these are the different functions that are mentioned. So coming to this make client function. So the make client function is used to create, meaning it creates and it returns an Elasticsearch client, and it also gives an authentication part, so that it has an authentication of 30 seconds. The request timeout that has been mentioned, that is 30 seconds. And the verification is enabled, the SSL verification is enabled if a CA certificate, that is this, the CA certificate file exists. Otherwise, is going to be disabled. So there is this if else function for that. And it ensures that there is this secure connection to the Elasticsearch cluster. And then this is the class for the search function, which has this ensure index. So the ensure index, uh, it checks whether the index that we are looking for exists or not. And in case the index does not exist, then it creates one automatically. So defining the it also defines the index mapping, and it has fields like these are mentioned: the ID, title, overview, category, released, at, and year tags. So there are these different things if we put in the search bar, and it will give the results accordingly. Then is this search function, the search method that we say. So it has different parts like the pagination, the function of pagination I have already told earlier. So it has this function of pagination. Then it basically takes the query from the user and processes it and accordingly gives the output for that. Mm, and the Yeah, so this is all about the search py file. Then is the app py file. So the app py file is basically the main Flask application, you can say, that is used to connect the both the sections, that is the backend search logic with the web interface, that is the front end interface. And it also gives the flow of how the queries are processed, and meaning it takes the queries from the user on the HTML interface and then processes it in the backend, and then again gives the output on the user interface. So there are different sections in it. The first we can see the Flask. So it is used to build the web app and also handle all the requests, the HTTP request. Then empty result. It checks whether the search thing exists or not, and gives the result accordingly, meaning if no query is entered, then a clean page, meaning no search found or some of that page is displayed for the empty result. Then there is this indexing. Mm, Indexing and then faces and normalization. So normalization is mostly used, like normalized year faces are used to convert the numeric year values to the string for display, to display it in the template. So that is the main function. And as mentioned earlier, the pagination function, it gives the number of searches on a particular page. The others are for joining the making, like establishing the different connections. And this is the main file, which mostly calls the uh, initializes and calls the functions accordingly. The index HTML file is basically the interface, the user interface. And for this, we have kept a very basic, subtle, very simple user interface, so that we can only accept the things and meaning accept the queries from the user and then display the output accordingly. So these are the codes for this. And now comes the user interface, where we can see the where we can see the results of the queries processed. So this is the user interface, in which the search bar we can put whatever search options we want. For example, this is the list of all the movies, and now if we put the category for the sci-fi movie, then only three options are displayed, the ones which come under the category of sci-fi movies. And so this is how the filtration works, and the pagination also. And also we can put the year option, in which the years will be converted to the string, and all the movies which are released during that specific year, though the list of those movies will be displayed. And yes, so this is the simple basic interface.